What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. My name is Barba, and today we are doing a pure magic DK. A pure magic DK is something you don't ever see anymore, so I'm gonna do it. I really like this build. It's like literally like an OG build. If you like OG builds that are actually viable, comment, like, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Alright, so I'm gonna go over the gear, character screen, skills, all that stuff, all that jazz. Alright, let's get into it. So, front bar. Got 25,000 magic, 36,000 health, 19,000 stam. We got 1,400 mag recovery before we pop a potion, which that could obviously go up. Also, on top of it, we got a ton of magic back for having that ardent flame on, applying burned. We have 3,100 spell damage before a pot. We have 25% crit. We have 2,600 pen before we apply major breach. And then resistance-wise, we are chilling at 28,000 spell and 26,500 physical. And then on the back bar we have 31 and 30. So pretty good resistances overall. In terms of crit resist, we have 1,700. It could be a little higher if I fix a couple traits, but it's no big deal. Alright, we have 17 points into magic. We have 47 into health. Change that how you see fit. We are using Bewitched Sugar Skulls. We are a dark elf because it's probably the best for DK because it gives everything of what you want. So yeah. That is the character screen. Alright, the gear. Like I said, this is literally OG. It's very, very viable, though, because it just has so much constant pressure on the enemy. Like, they can't even heal. They can't even turn their bar onto the offensive side to do damage. If they do, you just have to survive their burst for a second, because NDK is very tanky, so you just pop a Vigor, pop Red Dragon Blood, and Red Dragon Blood is one of the strongest heals in the game. And also on top of it, you also have your ults to sustain through all damage, so it's really, really good. Anyways, so on the back bar, we're using a classic. We're using Daedric Trickery. Feel free to use an Ice Staff if you want to use an Ice Staff. The only reason I'm using this is because I want to use the Life Giver ultimate, where I can basically just be invincible for 5 or 6 seconds, so I use that. But Daedric Trickery, if you don't know about this set, I had it in my last video. This is literally an OG overpowered set. Like, when this set came out, I think it came out with the base game or right around there. This set was seen as like godly. And then comparing it to the sets of today, it's kind of funny. Everyone uses Rallying Cry. I'm not gonna lie though. If I'm making my own personal decision, I'm choosing this. The reason for that is because I can wear it in anything I want: heavy, medium, light. Also on top of it, it gives a bunch of max stats, which I like. Also on top of that, you get access to buffs that just make you absolutely insane. If you don't know what it does, when you deal damage, so when you flip to that bar and just light attack or literally anything, you get 1 of 5 major buffs. So you can have 2 up at a time. You can have Expedition, movement speed, which is movement speed, Protection, which is damage mitigation, Mending, which is healing, Heroism, which is alt gem, which is amazing on DK, and then Vitality, which is healing recede. So if you get a right combination, you could even get like healing and vitality. You can get an insane combo. You just have 2 major buffs at all times, which is like, I mean, think about that. That's absolutely absurd, especially if you get heroism or something. Oh my god. 21 seconds of heroism is like, what, a couple dragon leaps. So, anyways, Daedric Trigger is amazing. Please use it. Front bar, we have an OG, and I mean OG, Magic DK set. This set is actually still good. And I'm not kidding. It's legit. Alright, what does Elfbane do? If you've never heard of Elfbane, if you're a new gen ESO player, and you don't know what the OG OP sets are, Elfbane used to be that set on DK, man. Alright, I'm going to tell you why. 1, DK seriously benefits from applying status effects. Okay, poison and flame to be exact. So we have poison, poison on the actual enchantment, and then if you don't have that on, I have a poison thing anyways, because you benefit severely from that. And if it's charged, you're going to apply it. But what does Elfbane do? It gives magic, which is good. It also gives 2 lines of damage, which is really good. And on top of that, increases the duration of flame dot abilities. Well, what does DK do? Literally just flame dot abilities, right? So Elfbane essentially buffs everything you use on DK. There's one skill in particular I think it's really, really good with, and it's not Dragon's Breath. But this is really good. Extra 5 seconds. That means everything's just ticking for longer. Like, your embers is burning for nearly 30 seconds. If you use Dragonknight Standard, which I don't, but you could, it burns forever. And if you use, Fire Breath, it burns forever. But there's another skill I really like, which is the Talon skill, which I'll show you. But the reason I like Elf Bane as well is because it comes in heavy, and extra 5 seconds, like you can literally 1vx with this, because if you use like a Dragon Leap into like a Talons, into like a anything really, like it just burns and burns and burns and burns and burns. And on top of it, them lasting longer and having charged is going to apply your burning status effect. Also, your burning status effect lasts longer, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive your burning status effect also lasts longer. Which is absolutely ridiculous. So you're just doing so much dot damage. Like, hypothetically, if you wanted to go like full on damage, you could do this in Deadly, and you do a lot of damage. You'd miss out on a lot of tankiness, but you do a lot of damage. Elfbane is actually insane. So I'm done gassing it up. Just use it. Please just use it. Alright, it's not really valuable in really any other class. Like, there's no other class that really utilizes a lot of that. But if you took Ardent Flame, if you took the Ardent Flame skill line, or like another skill line, it's really good. So, yeah, it's very good. Alright, we're using another OG set. Really, really good. Okay, it's really good for this setup. Grothdar, if you don't remember Grothdar, you need to stop living under a rock. Grothdar is one of the OG, OP Magic DK sets. And then on top of it, so think about it, you get a ton of dots because you get Grothdar on top of all the other fire things you're doing. So when you deal damage, you create lava around you for 5 seconds within 8 meters. So, fun fact, Elfbane actually extends the duration of Grothdar, which is crazy, but it does. So instead of it lasting 5 seconds, it lasts 10 seconds. So guess what? It has literally 100% uptime. Grothdar will be up at all times. There's no downtime on it unless it doesn't proc right away, but yeah, it's up at all times, on top of getting the 5 seconds on top of it. So yeah, it lasts forever. OG set. Is there better sets? Maybe. Zon is another cool set. Anything that does like AoE damage on top of people, like even like Storm Fist or Selene, or what's that one set everybody uses? Marcelok, I think. But this is like an OG fire set. It's like a Flame God build. And then Drager Trigger, so you have heavy. You have a light shoulder, because that's just what I have. And then ideally, you want to go light here, if you could. And then maybe medium here, and then heavy. But it's not perfect, but it's not bad. And then we have one piece of training. Again, I need to change to transmute this, but that's okay. I will transmute it. And then Danger Trickery again. Mix and match. I would go like Impen or Reinforce. It's up to you. So yeah. And then on the necklace, we have, Elfbane. You can transmute this to Bloodthirsty or Infuse if you want. Totally up to you. I actually like having the extra health. Like, I like hitting about 35k health on my build, so yeah. And lately I've been benefiting a little bit more from going more recovery rather than straight damage. Just surviving. I mean, recovery is a big deal, and it helps. Alright, so our mythic, you're going to be like, what the heck? We're using Bring of the Wild Hunt. Why are we using Bring of the Wild Hunt? Well, the main reason is because movement speed is king in PvP. But on top of it, for this exact build, the way my bar is set up, I literally don't have a slot available for a movement ability, like Race Against Time, or like the Misform, or anything like that. So the problem with that is, if I take, like, in my opinion, if I take off any of the skills that I have on my bar, I feel like it severely hinders the build. So I threw on Ring of the Wild Hunt just as a meme. I was like, maybe it'll help my problem. It actually fixed the entire problem. If you don't know Wild Hunt, it's actually insane. First of all, it's just quality of life. You run around with 45% speed out of combat. But in combat, you get 15% from the actual item, and then you get 7% for Swift. So you're getting 20 through 22%, 22% speed. Major Expedition is 30. You don't really notice the difference. I mean, you notice it, I guess, by 8%, but 22% speed is really good, especially on a DK, because DK is kind of immobile. So being able to move around is really good. Also, like I said before, it saves a slot on my bar, so I could just use another damage skill, which in my opinion absolutely makes the build. If I didn't use this build wouldn't be good, because I just don't think it would work. Now, if you have something on where you can use potions for your major sorcery and major brutality, go ahead. I just don't like doing that, so I have this on, and it's really good. And then we have Elfbane. Alright, that's the gear. Let me know what you think. Skills. Alright, absolutely good here. Okay, first skill, one of the best, I swear to God, one of the best skills in the game. Not kidding. Alright, you proc it. Or you press it, it hits 3 people at once, it does a bunch of damage. How much does it really do? 6,200, okay, and you get crit for having it slotted. Think about it. That's doing 18,000 per fireball, and it lasts 15 seconds. You literally can spam. Look, see that proc. You can literally spam this if you want. Like, it's that good. It does a lot of damage. All right, 5,200, really, really good. All right, see ya. All right, 5,800. So here is the next skill that I think is absolutely insane. Burning Talons. It does damage to everyone around you within 6 meters. It actually also gives you a synergy, but it does 5,800 on the cast, and then does another 5,300 over 5 seconds. But you got to understand, like I said before, it lasts for 5 seconds longer, so it's actually doing 10,600 over 10 seconds. So this is in total, it's doing over 16,000 damage. Really good. I mean, it just makes you not have to cast it as much. And it immobilizes, which is an absolute must for this setup. So yeah, really, really good. This skill is like, again, like I said, if I used a movement thing, I wouldn't be able to have this, and I think it's a must. So amazing, by the way, amazing. Here you're using this is simple. Breach. All right, Burning Embers. So Burning Embers is a really, really important skill. Why? Because you can also heal off of it, which is really nice. It also automatically applies the burning status effect, which, like I said, burning lasts 5 seconds longer as well, which is really, really good on this build. Also, this skill says 24 seconds, but guess how long it is? 29 seconds, because it lasts for 5 seconds longer, on top of applying a burn that lasts for 5 seconds longer. So really, really good. Here, you have Flame Lash. Okay, Flame Lash is a must for the way I'm playing it because of this skill. Actually, Burning Talons and Flame Lash have an absolutely insane chemistry if you don't know how they work. If you're in PvP, I'm telling you right now, like using this into a Flame Lash, the reason Flame Lash is so good is because it actually kind of is glitched. So, I'll tell you. So it does 7,500 damage on a normal one, but if you strike an enemy that's immobilized or stunned, you set them off balance. Okay, targeting an off balance or immobilized enemy changes this ability into Power Lash, allowing you to lash an enemy, dealing 8,900 damage and healing you for 9,300. How insane is this? This immobilizes, which means you're going to get an immobilized hit, which is going to do the extra damage, healing you, and then on top of it, it's going to proc it again because it's going to actually set them off balance. So if you strike an this is crazy. So if you strike someone that's immobilized, you get a good proc, you get the proc, but then you set them off balance, makes you able to proc it again. And then during the off balance duration, because off balance lasts for, I want to say off balance lasts for like 6 seconds maybe, something like that. And if it does, you can actually spam it. So like typically the proc, like back in the day, the proc, or like the better version of this skill would only hit once because you would like get the off balance and the immobilize, and then boom, you're done with it. You got to do it again. Now that whole window seems to work. You'll know the difference. Like that's a normal Flame Lash. When you do a better Flame Lash, your guy does a 360, so you'll know the difference. Like he'll jump in the air and do like a 360, and you'll know what it is. But you can spam it, so you're essentially healing for. You can literally heal for 8,000 on your spammable, which is absurd. Yeah, so if you don't know how this mechanic works, I can show you. Go look at my gameplay, and you'll see I posted it. But it's ridiculous, actually. So you just spam this to set them off balance. And on top of it, when you go to your back bar to fossilize, you can proc it again, because you can, when you attack stunned enemies, it also procs it. And then on top of it, fossilize immobilizes. So Flame Lash is procking again. You can literally proc this forever, like over and over and over and over. And just heal forever. And then, if you don't know how that works, Fossilize is an unblockable CC, so it immobilizes them again. And if you don't know how Immobilize works, Immobilize doesn't have a global cooldown like it does hard CC, so you can pretty much spam immobilizations every couple seconds. Anyways, yeah, and then Dragon Leap, because Dragon Leap's amazing. If you don't know the passives, like I said, it increases the damage of your burning, which lasts longer for this, and when you apply burning, you restore magic and stamina. So you get a lot of resources back. Yeah, really good. Alright, so, back bar. More flame damage. This doesn't get the proc, which is fine, because it's not the best damage ever, it's just kind of there, which is cool. Then we have Vigor for a heal. Then we have Fossilized, which I already talked about. Then we have Coagulating Blood, which is insanely good heal, like I said. And then we have Degen. I missed the skill when Health Recovery was good. It was so good. And then we have Degen, like I said, must have. And then we have Life Giver, because Life Giver is a get out of jail free card. So, I mean, that's the build. I mean, you can use Ash Cloud if you want. I just don't think it's that good of a skill because you're always on the go. You can use Corrosive if you want to use an Ice Staff on the back and then throw this on there. Completely up to you. But yeah, that's the build. I mean, let me know what you guys think. I think this build is absolutely ridiculous. I just posted gameplay if you want to go look at it. But typically, I'll just show the rotation, something like this, right? You just kind of hit this. You're just using all your spells. I mean, it's not really complicated. It's not rocket science. You're just doing this. Pretty much just rotating between your talons. And then you just kind of go in like that. You do that, right? And then eventually, they're dead. Alright, so, yeah, really good. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. CP. Real quick, I barely play CP, but Force of Nature. Master it on his Thaumaturge, Untamed Aggression, and then Peace of Mind, which is okay. Juggernaut, Pain's Refuge, and then Survival Instinct, which actually is decent. I'm not going to lie. Alright, so that's what I'm using. Peace out, guys. Let me know what you think.